What is going on, everybody? I am Ben and welcome back. Not gonna say again, but I am joined by Nazu. So, check this out. I just watched, reacted to episode 8 of The Sandman. Was it Playing House was the episode. And apparently, my SD card on my camera decided not to save it. Audio, audio stuff, the capture of all that stuff, everything else decided to save, but for whatever god-awful reason, even though it showed that it was recording on my camera, it decided not to actually save onto the SD card for whatever stupid reason. And the SD card has to be in order for the camera to actually, record. Because you can't hit record, it'll say no SD, so it was recording. Anyways, so I figure I'm just going to give you a little, my thoughts on the episode. Unfortunately, because I can't get the actual reaction, because it wouldn't be reaction, because I had to rewatch the entire thing and know everything, and, well, alright, so I'm just going to break it down. This whole thing's going to be a spoiler, so obviously you've seen The Sandman by now. You know The Sandman by now. Episode 8, Playing House. Alright, so a whole lot of stuff going on. I got to see if I can remember half of it. First thing that got the biggest reaction out of me in this episode was the god dang not father, just the scumbag. That scumbag of a man who was keeping Jed and abusing his wife clearly, and the foster parent. That man made me want to punch a hole through his skull. I am so glad, but I am also upset that we did not get to see his demise. I'm glad he got by the Corinthian, but also, my goodness, I could have gone for a diner scene death clip for him. That's a man that's let me see his eyes get plucked out, because God, he deserved it. Alright, the man was a scumbag, and I'm glad he got. Alright, so we had Rose jumping through dreams. Reminded me of the episode of SpongeBob where he goes into Gary's dreams and everybody's dreams and just seeing what they're doing. And there was a lot. Alright, so there was a lot of, in terms of the theme, where it was oh, this isn't my dream, this isn't my reality, this isn't all of that. It's there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that in this episode. There was, when they were going through the dreams, and Hal had that little conversation with Rose where he was oh, if I can leave this house, this was not my dream. We go into his dream and we see the multiple faces, the identity crisis, where it's oh, this is my real face, this is my real face, grotesque face, this is my real face. You don't know what he doesn't know what he is. It's who am I? And it's that was pretty heavy. But again, jumping back to that conversation that he had with Rose, that actual conversation they had, where he was sweetie, if I could leave this place, I would, if Broadway called, I would peace out and I would not even think twice. This is not my dream. That conversation, boy, that was a heavy hit. That was a moment where I was oh wow. That really took me aback for a hot second there. And then we got Lyda with her dead husband having apparently dream babies, have a Freddy Krueger situation where it's oh, you have a baby in the dream, you have a baby for real. So I don't know what's going on with that. Alright. That's throwing me for a loop, because I don't know how that's going on. I don't know how Morpheus isn't catching on to that. What's happening there? That's just wild. She comes out and she's actually pregnant. So I don't know entirely what's going on there. That's just that's pretty, that's outlandish. Everything that happens in this series, I'm drawing the line there. You don't have dream babies. But that's false, because great-great-grandmother had dream babies apparently too. So alright, let's see. I know I'm going through this really fast. I'm talking really fast because I'm trying to keep everything in here that I can remember. Alright. There was quite a few points. The Corinthian, obviously, He was a heavy hitter in this episode. Man got plenty of eyes in this episode. The poor old foster lady got, and that's how. So wait. It just came to terms real quick. He got the foster lady's eyes. Saw what she saw. Ate. That's a thing for him, right? He eats the eyes, and then he can basically like go through what you see. Because he did all that, and then he basically knew where to go. Obviously, he figured out Florida from when he talked to the great-grandmother. He did have a nice little conversation, a little sit-down with the great-grandmother. Great. I don't know how many greats are in there, but nevertheless, there was that. And then, of course, I mean, I can't remember the wife's name of the scumbag, but she clearly got as well. And it's like, oh, that's kind of a shame. You know, she was caught in the crossfire. You know, she was scared and abused, and it's like, fuck, oh man. Sorry that happened to you. Also, a quick little costume bit. He had the harness for the knives. He had the little shoulder strap harness thing for his 2 knives. A plus on that. If I can find one of those, Lord knows I'd have me one of those. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Like, it's not even like, I don't care if you have that for guns. That's normal. Whatever. You have a little shoulder holster thing for your gun, but you got a nice little shoulder holster. And you got 2 beautiful blades in there. Man, that's what I'm talking about. I can appreciate that. To the max. Back into the dreams. Oh. The biggest one, or one of the biggest ones, Galt was very intriguing, very interesting. That whole situation showed a side of Morpheus, showed a side to the nightmares perspective. You know, did that. It's like, okay, awesome. And you know what? Never mind. Okay, I just got really confused for a hot second. We're gonna cut that out. So Galt, according to Mr. Morpheus, was like, oh, you just wanted something you can rule. And straight out the gate was like, no, I'm not trying to rule. This isn't something I'm trying to rule here. I'm not trying to rule. Like, I want to be a dream. I don't want to be a nightmare. To where it, you know, it's the challenge, it's the thing. It was like, oh, you know, your reality, you're a nightmare, but in my dream, I am a dream. Like, I'm helping this kid out. You know, I'm giving Jed a safe space, basically. Like, I'm not showing him his fears. Like, I'm letting him be the hero here. But Morpheus isn't having none of that. I know, in essence, I'm kind of like summarizing this, but it's just, it's all like, when you sit back and look at it, it's like, you know, they talk about the change. You know, it's like, all right, like, we can change. No, you're made this way. This is what you are. You're not changing. You're gonna deal the cards you got. Like, that's it. There's no change in here. You're a nightmare. Leave it at that. And of course, Galt, you know, unfortunate demise. I guess you can call that a demise. He was dealing with the darkness, got sucked into the blackness. So basically got. Yeah, that was a fun little thing. It was like, oh, you're the Sandman. Oh, all right, Jed, you're the Sandman. Okay, all right. Nas, what you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? This episode was good. All right, I enjoyed it. I had some, you know, it had its like heavy moments. It had its very aggravating moments. And by aggravating, I mean when that scumbag of a man said some of the things he said, I was not happy. I was happy to see the Corinthian a lot. I was very happy with that. I was thoroughly amused when he found Rose at the beach and found out that Matthew was there. And he just kind of walked up and he walked away. He was like, fuck. And just like kind of walked away. He was like, yeah, he knew. He knew there was potential for some problems there, so he just backed his ass right off. So I, like that. That was a funny moment for me. Bottom line, like, I enjoyed the episode. Like, again, like, the wheels are turning. We're getting more into the vortex. Jed is, was he actually? No, that's right. God, I was like, wait, we got Jed back, but no. Like, Corinthian has Jed right now. Basically gonna be like, hey, Rose, I got something you want. Come meet me somewhere, and we're gonna handle this. Because he wants the vortex. He wants something to do with the vortex. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen with all that, but he wants the vortex nevertheless. Was it like a top favorite episode? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes, very much so. It's like a, like a B tier. It's like a B tier episode. Whereas 4, 5, and 6? 4, 5, and 6 were the real big hitters. Those are the big ones, at least for me. I love those episodes. And are we done with? Yeah. We didn't see any more of Desire yet. No Desire yet. That's also, like, that's a moving piece. That they're just hanging out, doing their thing. I gotta figure, like, I want to know what's going on with this. Oh, man. All right, I can keep rambling. I can just keep going and going and going and going. But all right, so again, apologies for this being the, quote unquote reaction to the, episode. But hey, it is what it is. Episode 7, I will tell you, my God, it's every time, every upload, there's a new reason that it's blocked, and I am trying. Obviously, episode 7 will be up before this, but man, this one's giving me some problems. So anyways, I am Ben. This is Nazu. All the love is appreciated, and I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this a little bit, I mean, hey, let me know. I'll do more rambling stuff like this. I have no problem doing that. So it is what it is, buddies. All right. This was not short and sweet, I can tell you that, man. All right. I like talking about it. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun to just sit here and let's have a chat. Obviously, there's parts that I missed. There's plenty of probably little bits and themes that I missed. Obviously, you got your knowledge. Drop some knowledge respectfully. All right. All love is appreciated. I appreciate you. And everything you want to do, go for it, buddy boys and girls. Bam. No zoo. Bye, Nas.